Number 2, we have Stone Tower Temple from Majora's Mask. And I gotta say, this dungeon by far is the best dungeon in the entire game. I mean, the first 3 dungeons, you have to rely on your specific forms, like Woodfall, you have to rely on Deku Link. Snowhead, you have to rely on Goron Link. Great Bay, you have to rely on Zora Link. And when you go to Stone Tower, you have to rely on all 3 of them. Yeah, I mean, that is pretty creative. I liked that idea. I liked the touch they put on that. That's it. The design was pretty good, and the music was pretty good. The music was amazing. I mean, that's really catchy. I love that. I love the music for Stone Tower. Everyone who knows me knows that. But yeah, I loved the mini boss fights. I mean, Garo Master was a pretty good fight, and you get the light arrows. Oh, guess what? After you get the light arrows, you have to literally leave the tower, leave the temple, the dungeon. You have to go outside, and you have to turn the dungeon, the entire dungeon, upside down. So in order for you to progress through the second half of the dungeon. Now, that was really creative. I love that. I really loved that. That was really, really, really creative. I mean, and Games was tough, but that was a pretty fun boss fight. It was a pretty amazing boss fight. I really love that mini boss. And then to top it off, when you fight when you get the Giant's Mask, now that is amazing. That was amazing. I mean, you get the Giant's Mask, you go to the boss room where you fight Twin Mold, and you just get to grow massively huge and just destroy everything. Oh my gosh, that was really amazing. Oh, and a little fun fact, I don't know if any of you who played Majora's Mask noticed that the boss room where you fight Twin Mold is actually the same room where you fight the Garo Master, except it's just upside down. I'm not sure if anyone noticed it, but I sure did. But yeah, this dungeon is by far the best dungeon in Majora's Mask, and my second favorite Zelda dungeon of all time. What keeps it from number 1? You're about to find out. And finally, saving the best for last, we have number 1, the Spirit Temple from Ocarina of Time, also known as the best dungeon in the entire game. Also, my number 1 favorite Zelda dungeon of all time. Now, why is this my number 1 favorite Zelda dungeon of all time? Okay. Just kind of similar to Stone Tower, you have to use all your forms to complete this dungeon. You have to complete the first half of this dungeon as a kid in order to get the silver gauntlets, in order to progress through the adult part of the dungeon. And I gotta say, actually both parts of the dungeon were pretty fun, but if I were to choose, I kinda take the adult part over the kid part. There's nothing wrong with the kid part. I just like playing as adult Link better. That's just me. But yeah, things I liked about this dungeon. I liked the atmosphere, the way it looked. mummy's tomb feel of it. It was pretty amazing. I just loved it. It was really well designed. And another thing, I liked the Iron Knuckles. They were really fun to fight. I enjoyed every second of fighting them, even though they were tough at first. I still loved them. And, well, yeah, I like the Mirror Shield. The Mirror Shield is probably one of my favorite Zelda weapons of all time. And had some pretty good light puzzles with the Mirror Shield. Loved those. Yeah, just enemies were really fun to fight in there. Like, of course, I already mentioned the Iron Knuckles, but, you know, Dinophos, or whatever. Yeah, Lizlophos, Dinophos, whatever they're called. They were fun to fight. There were some Stelphos in there. Maybe a Wolfo. Yeah, they were all fun. And, well, there's also something funny about this dungeon where you can hookshot onto the statue's boob. I thought that was hilarious. But to finish this off, I gotta say, one of the really, really good parts about this dungeon was the boss fight with Twin Rova. I mean, that by far was one of the best battles in the game. I mean, there's just so much creativity put into it. I mean, you're fighting two witches, which are both fire and ice, and in order to beat them, you have to attack one with the other's projectiles using the Mirror Shield. And after hitting them enough times, they fuse together, and you just have to pretty much do what you've been doing throughout the entire battle. Use your Mirror Shield and deflect their attacks to hit them. And you just finish them off with your sword, and then the cutscene after beating them is actually funny. I mean, they're both dead, and they start arguing with each other. Now that was hilarious. And yeah, it was a pretty good dungeon to wrap things up before going to fight Ganon for the final battle. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Spirit Temple, my favorite dungeon of all time. Well, there you have it. My top 20 favorite Zelda dungeons of all time. Now, if you have a top 10, 15, 20, even a top 5, top whatever number you can think of. Top however many dungeons you can think of in that game. In that series. Give me a list of your favorite. If you like. Because, I'm open for others' opinions. And I'm pretty curious to see what you guys think. So, give me a list of your top favorites. I will not judge. I may disagree, but hey, opinions are opinions. We have our own. We're all different. So, feel free to post your own list if you'd like. Comments, and if you follow me on Twitter, you can send me a list on there. And if you're not following me, it's at MasterD821. So yeah, if you have a list of your own, feel free to share in the comments below or on Twitter. And if you enjoyed this video and would like me to post more Zelda videos in the future, I might not do them one after another. I might do them like every once in a while, because I got other stuff to work on. But if you'd like me to post Zelda videos, more Zelda related videos, then feel free to request that, and I will look into it. So, other than that, that's all for today. Master D out.